Gotta flip the screen. There we go. Share it out. There we go. Where's my mouse cursor? There it is. All right. Good morning, Tuesday, August 25th. Welcome in to the morning show. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Get the chat pulled up. Look at the studio chat. There we go. Oh, you show on the stream. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's cool. All right. Got the coffee, got water, got a live stream, got an updated whiteboard. We're ready to roll on a Tuesday. Got my coffee on a little hot plate, keep it nice and hot. Waiting for the folks to roll in this morning. Got some news to talk about. NCLEX raising their fees. Hola, Bobby. Welcome in. I didn't even look. How'd the Red Sox do? Didn't even see the scores. Went to bed early. Let us look. 4-2 over the Marlins. Nice. Overall record 72-59. Let's see where they are in the standings. All right, currently third, 6 games out of first behind the Rays, and only 2.5 back of the Yankees. But they, I think they're in solid position for a wild card because they have even though they're in third in the AL East, they've got a better record than the leaders in the Central and the West. So I think they're in good shape. If they were in either of those other two divisions, they'd be in first place. They're just in the best division in the American League. Go Live Vegas, welcome in. Good morning. Kevin Hawthorne, good morning over on YouTube. Thanks for stopping in this morning. Appreciate you. Yeah, so the NCLEX, I saw February 1st is raising the cost to take the exam. It's been $200 for like 25, 26 years. They haven't raised it since 2000, according to their website. Bobby from Boston, welcome in. Your package is shipped. I hope you enjoy it. Bob's, that Ames thought said boobs, which is kind of funny. But hey, whatever. If you order it, I'll put whatever you want on there within reason. No derogatory names, nothing like that. Mr. Clean, I thought I saw Mr. Clean peek in here. Not a Bob's, but a Babs join. Mr. Clean is in here. Good morning, sir. Welcome in. Clean. So on my agenda today, I have to go change all my EMS uniforms. So when I first started running with this local agency for I guess 9 years ago, it's been 9 years. I was a little bit bigger. And if you knew me a year ago, I was a little bit bigger. And I lost some weight, so I had to get a new pair of pants. I went from like a 40, I think I was wearing a size 40, and then went down to like a 36. Now the 36s are way too big. So I've got a size 40, size 36. I need a size 32. So I got to take all my uniforms back and exchange those for new ones. And I need new boots. My 9-year-old boots are shredded. Rubber's starting to come off of them. You can't polish them anymore. There's nothing left on the leather to polish. Chloe B, good morning. Welcome in. Miss Miller, I'm looking to switch careers. Is the nursing community really as toxic as it sounds? No, it's not. A lot is made of that, but I don't think I've worked in 4 different hospitals and I don't think it's nearly as toxic. And I think the toxicity that people talk about is, ubiquitous no matter where you work. There's always toxic people. It's not necessarily nurses that are toxic, it's just people. And people work all different kinds of jobs. Can only afford LPN for now, and I've heard some things. Now, I will say LPNs do not garner the respect they deserve. I will say that. I think there are definitely some RNs that look down on LPNs. But again, I've worked with LPNs and I did not see that. But I know it exists. I'm just saying in my experience working with LPNs, I did not see that. And I actually learned a lot from them. They taught me a lot because it was early in my career. Vanessa says, "Me seeing this live before my surgery. Well, I'm not an OR tech and I'm not an OR nurse, so but welcome in. I hope your surgery goes well." Holly, good morning. Welcome in. And how is Holly this morning? Miss Miller was a teacher for the last 3 years, so I'm used to that kind of disrespect. Yeah, teachers, I think teachers have it way worse than nurses. I think they work way harder, have a lot more responsibility. I think I know nurses deal with human lives and all that kind of stuff, but I look at the grander picture and I think teachers have a much larger responsibility because they're educating the future of this country, of the world, right? These kids are going to grow up to be our leaders, you know, future nurses, future doctors, and it is so important that their education get off to a good start. So especially your elementary school teachers, oh my gosh, I don't know how they do it. There's a teacher that's been at the elementary school here for almost 30 years, and she is amazing. I don't think I don't think my job is all that hard. It is challenging. Don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying what I do, but at the end of the day, like, I go in and we see problems, we try to fix problems. If we can fix them, great. If we can't, we can't. But I don't have the responsibility of educating the youth of this country, the future of our country. Mr. Clean says, "I got disrespect as an LPN, but was small in comparison to the compliments I got." Well, that's good. That's how I felt. I felt like the nurses, the RNs and the LPNs that I worked with got along really well. And again, that's a very small sample size. It's only one hospital. It's the only time I've ever worked closely with LPNs. So I don't have a larger sample size to draw from. May I ask, my back was sore a bit. It's okay now, but it's common to pass gas because of sore back. Or maybe your back was sore because you needed to pass gas. I don't know. Remy, good morning. Just got home from the ER actually, like as a patient or from work. Oh, Mole the Merce is in here this morning. Good morning, Mole. Are you on your way to work? Yes, day 2 of 3 ended my day with a brain bleed. Great learning. Yeah. What was the cause? Head trauma? Spontaneous? Oh, well, I'm sorry you were a patient, Remy. I hope you're feeling better. Sup, everyone. Hey, Haley. Good morning. Welcome in. Just kidney stuff. Kidneys are pretty resilient. Old gay little monster. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Oh, shout out to my new shirt. Science like magic, but real. I love it. I have another one that I'll probably wear tomorrow. I think it's something like "Be patient with me. I was born in the 1900s." Trap Star Digital. Haven't heard that song in forever. Well, welcome in. I'm glad I'm the one that could remind you of how awesome this song truly is. Maybe stones or something. Not sure. Oh, did they do an ultrasound or a CT? For kidney stones, they can usually do a CT without contrast. Although I will say, if you are a nurse, if you work in the ER, especially in the ER, because this is where we typically see these presentations. Dana Scully, good morning, welcome in. Miss Miller, thank you for the rose. I appreciate that. So if you have a patient that presents with kidney, like flank pain, and you're thinking kidney stone, CT comes back, doesn't really show a stone. but their pain is out of proportion, right? Like you've given them the typical analgesics that we would treat, and usually that brings some relief. Toradol is mainly one, but especially if you escalate to something like a narcotic and their pain is not relieved, you need to talk to the doctor about possibly doing a CT with contrast because I've read a really good, this is about a year ago. I read a really good study on how kidney stone presentation in the absence of kidney stones can often result in renal infarct. That pain is coming from basically a blockage of a renal artery that is causing the kidney to die. And so you see these cases where there's no stone, but they have the classic presentations of flank pain and the pain is not being relieved. Eventually it'll go away because the kidney, that part of the kidney will die. But then when they come back the next time, they're going to find out that their kidney function's impaired. At least that one. Hopefully it's just one. Now you can work off one kidney. People donate a kidney and they live just fine. One kidney can do all the work. Lady D, good morning. Welcome in. Dana Scully, thanks for the go popular. I appreciate that. Juro Old Peoples, good morning in all caps. Oh, Dana Scully with a level up sparks. Awesome. Love that. Man, throwing all kinds of gifts. Got the shard of hope. We all need a little shard of hope, don't we? We'll spread that around this morning. Rob Brown says, my dad's one kidney is failing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Lady D with a You're Awesomes. Thank you. Here's another one for you off their 1994 Cracked Rear View album, Hootie and the Blowfish. Darius Rucker, I just saw a video of him. He was doing a photo shoot, and in the background was Biggie Smalls song playing. And he goes, "You know, I got shouted out in this, right?" And then they kind of pause. Listen, and he's like, "Blow like Hootie," and he's like, "Yeah, that was me. That was because of me." I didn't realize people didn't know that, but I guess it's been around a while. Randy Rand's about ready to run out of there in about 20 minutes when he can clock out. I hope you had a good shift. You work nights? Can't do nights anymore. Too old for that shit. What state are you in? I'm a floor nurse, 39 years, med surge last night, ran for 12 and a half hours, bed alarms. Yeah, I'm in Virginia and I don't do med surge. I mean, I can run for that long, but I do clinicals. I teach clinicals for a BSN program, and we work on med surge floors. And I get more steps in when I do my clinical instructor shifts with my students than I do when I work in the ER. Now, mainly because I'm bouncing around between all my students trying to get them experience, observe them doing procedures and those kind of things. But yeah, I get way more steps when I'm on the med surge floor than I do in the ER. Because in the ER, like my beds, if I'm the charge nurse, I don't do a lot of moving. I answer phones and like coordinate things from my desk. But when when I just have an assignment, I just have my beds, they're right in front of me. Like, I don't do a whole lot other than go to those beds. But when you're a med surg nurse, you got patients, like, all down the hallways, and you're running back and forth. Yeah, it's a lot. That's why I don't understand, like, I get people wanna be an ICU nurse. I get people wanna be an ER nurse, they like the chaos. ICU likes the critical care, but I don't know anybody that wants to be a med surg nurse. I mean, I'm glad there are, but I just don't understand why. Because I feel like they get run ragged every shift. Mr. Clean plays cards, yes. Going back to that Washington state politician, put her foot in her mouth. Yeah, she really ticked off a lot of nurses with that one. I hope that I never stop. Megan Marshall, good morning, welcome in. Love it. Yeah, you worked out hard yesterday. I used to have an Apple Watch, I still have it. I cannot take the battery life. So I've got a Garmin. I love my Garmin. Absolutely love my Garmin. Yeah, and I never got my nap yesterday. I was so tired. So I'm trying to catch up. Like I've got all these books that I'm reading, right? So I cleaned all the bathrooms yesterday, so I listened to my audiobook. Yes, Haley, I'm with you on that one. 3 workouts for no reason. Yes, there's absolutely a reason you worked out. You wanna get better, right? I worked out. I did an hour yesterday of kettlebell push-ups. I've increased my push-up set rep. Like, when I first started, I was doing, like, 15, then I went to 20, then 25, now I'm 30 per set. Try to get, like, 3 or 4 sets in. I've incorporated pull-ups, so now I'm doing, like, 3 sets right now, I can do 3 sets of 3. The 3rd set's pretty weak, like, can't get quite all the way up, but I do a slow release. But that is way more than I could do a year ago, which was none. So no, Gary, I wanna get better at sleeping. Oh, I know. Anna, good morning. Long time no see. How are you? Hans, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. So if you're a nursing student, I feel bad for Ari. When Ari comes in, we'll have to get her opinion on this because this is gonna affect Ari. As of February 1st, the NCLEX is raising their fee to take it. Now, I know a lot of people are you're gonna see a lot of posts about this today. People getting upset about it and making memes or whatever. But you have to understand the NCLEX has not raised the cost to take the test in 26 years, not since 2000. That's a long time to hold steady, especially the way things have been going. We've had the Great Recession, we've had the last 12 years. Um, and so it's a significant increase, like from 200 to 350 in the US and Australia. For Canada, I think it's like 360 to 570. That's almost a $200 increase. That's a lot of money. Oh, Mole says it was wrapped into your school cost. No, not for us. We had to pay out of pocket for that. And they decreased the amount of questions. That's right. We're going to charge you more, but I don't know. I'd rather take 150 max than like 260 max or 265 max. I slept a solid 7 hours straight. I fell asleep right about 10, and then I woke up around, like, 5:15. My problem is I drink water so much, and I gotta learn to, like, scale back, so I'm not drinking as much water after, like, 6 or 7 in the evening, 'cause I just keep drinking water, which means at some point in the middle of the night, I gotta get up and pee. Clocking in, Mole says, "As always, thanks for helping me start the day right. I hope you have a great shift, man. Appreciate you stopping by." Beauty with charisma. Nurse pay cuts coming in Atlanta metro area. God, that's unfortunate. Is that, like, insider information? Like, have they sent out notifications? I mean, I'm not surprised. We've seen that across the country. Weekend shift diff being cut. Meanwhile, CEOs are making 25, $26 million a year. Bobby says, "My point, no increase in price many years and got decrease in questions. Good for many years." Yeah, you're not getting as much bang for your buck, but I still would rather I'd rather take 100. I'm grateful I did not have to take the full allotment. Mine cut off at 75. Bearded lunchbox. I work corrections. We are currently like 12 nurses short. Wow. But are they just not hiring people? There are lots of nurses looking for work, but they're just not hiring people. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Medicaid cuts, yeah. I mean, and that's gonna be over, like, a 10-year period. So, yeah, it's gonna be slow, and it's not gonna be all at once, because the cuts come, like, a little bit each year, but a total of a lot of money. Poison Ivy, I will start med surg class and lab this fall as well as clinicals. Any advice? So when it comes to I am a clinical instructor for nursing foundations, which is where I teach. That is their very first clinical experience, and it's usually on a med surg unit. So I would say make sure you come prepared. Keep your cell phone out of the way unless it's allowed to look up medications, which I think most schools are using digital stuff now. So you have to allow the students to have their phone to access that information, but as little as possible. because the staff notice that. They'll report to their manager. The manager then reports to either the clinical instructor or the course instructor of the school. And then that gets back, and that's not a good look. Stay off your phone, be visible and be active and be proactive. So if you see somebody, a call bell go off, go check on that patient. Don't do anything unless that you are not sure of until you talk to the nurse. Don't ambulate patients until you've talked to the nurse. Don't disconnect anything until you've talked to the nurse. You don't want to be getting in trouble for disconnecting stuff that you should be disconnecting. And then ask them to let you do whatever they're willing to let you do that you are cleared to do. So if you're cleared to put in Foley's and you know somebody needs a Foley, fight for that. I want to do that. Can I do that? Anna says, Gary, I need to get my ACLS soon. Where can I find material like video in order to study? I think if you just if you go to YouTube and just search ACLS prep, you could probably find a ton of videos. There are lots of videos out there. Poison Ivy asks, is med surge hard? I just finished fundamentals. Yeah, fundamentals is kind of like what I teach, foundations. And it was pretty easy. Med surge it's a lot. Like you're going to be busy usually depending on what kind of unit you're on because there are different types of med surge units. There are like medical surgical, there are trauma med surge, there's cardiac med surge. Depends on how big the hospital is and how many specialty floors they have. But it can be very challenging. You can be very busy, and then there are some days, like when I taught last semester, there were some days where it was pretty chill, like, we didn't have a whole lot to do. Patients were pretty self-sufficient, we didn't have a lot of procedures to do, so we did a lot of, like, impromptu education sessions, like, we picked a topic, and I would hold, like, little study sessions and talk about things. Why is it hard for new grads to get jobs these days compared to years past? Because hospitals for a variety of reasons, greed being one of them, Medicaid cuts being the other. Hospitals are not hiring. They instead are pushing more responsibility on the staff that are already there. And it's cheaper for them to pay an overtime shift or to have a nurse pick up an extra patient. You know, have like 5 nurses pick up an extra patient rather than hire a nurse to take those 5 extra patients and have an assignment. So that's, in my opinion, that's what the nursing shortage is. It is a shortage of responsible administrators not hiring an appropriate safe staffing level. That's my impression, because there are lots of nurses out there that are having trouble finding jobs, new grads having trouble finding jobs, experienced nurses having trouble finding jobs. There are hospitals that when nurses get to a certain age and they are making a certain amount of money, they'll find a reason to get rid of them. And that's, I mean, you ask any nurse that's worked any length of time, I guarantee they probably know somebody who has been dismissed or cut loose for some unknown reason, had an impeccable track record for 20 years. And then all of a sudden, yeah, you're not really working out here. We got to let you go. Why? Because it's cheaper to pay a new grad nurse, bare minimum, than it is to pay an experienced nurse who has moved up the pay scale. And I work with a nurse um, it was wild. He's been a nurse for 20 years. And there's a big hospital, level one trauma center nearby. And his first job there, I think what did they pay him? I think he said it was like, and this was like 20 years ago, like $23 an hour as a new grad nurse. That was 20 years ago. 10 years ago, they offered me a job right out of school, offering me $20 an hour, $3 less than he made 10 years prior. Make that make sense. So I said, thanks, but no thanks. I'm glad I did because I ended up making more money at another hospital. But guess what? That CEO is getting paid. Don't you worry about that. So, how would you recommend a new grad nurse get a job in the hospital by the time they graduate? So, Poison Ivy, I've always been a big fan of getting your face in front of the managers, the nurse managers that work those units. They often have the most input on who they hire. HR definitely plays a role in that. HR usually runs interference and they present the applications that the manager can then choose from. But I think if you get your face in front of that manager, show up on the unit, call them ahead of time, ask if you can shadow a nurse on that unit for a shift, and then talk to the manager. Hey, look, I want to work here when I graduate. I graduate in May and I would love to work here. What can I do between now and then to make that happen? And I think that's probably the best way to do it. A lot of your nurse managers are gonna be my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older, and we still like that face-to-face contact. So, Amanda Donnell, good morning, welcome in. How are you doing today? Mama Reynolds, good morning, nurse from is that Missouri or Montana? I forget. Oh, still in bed, so not going to work today. Gotcha. Missouri. I was supposed to fly into Kansas City, Missouri, a couple weeks ago for a conference. All my flights got rearranged, delayed, pushed back, and I could not make the conference, which really irked me. Nurse Pinky, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Amanda says, heck no, yesterday was a disaster. Yeah, you get those days. Oh, let me scroll back there. Marie from San Diego, thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. Anna says there is someone who is working in MedSurge Tele. I would like to know how it is. Oh, if there's anybody that works MedSurge Tele, Anna has questions. What are your thoughts? Do grades and NCLEX scores increase your odds? So there's no NCLEX score. You either pass or you don't. So you don't have to worry about that. Your grades, I wouldn't really worry about those either. The only time I think grades really play a role is if you want to do postgraduate work later, like if you want to get your master's or go get your DMP, they're probably going to look at your grades in undergrad to see how you did. But if your goal is to just work bedside and you don't have any aspirations to do management or education or get your DMP or nurse practitioner, then nobody cares about your grades. They don't care what your GPA was because most nursing programs are gonna be like a C or B, a C or higher. Mine was a B or higher, 80 and higher. Anything less than an 80 was a fail. So the local hospitals already know that if you went to this university, you're a B, minimum a B student. In my case, I was like point 0.4 away from magna cum laude. I was pissed. Lexi, I worked the night shift today. Is 1 out of 3. I don't wanna work. Oh gosh, that's 1 out of your first out of 3 shifts and you don't wanna work? Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a long 3 shifts, but I wish you luck. Good luck. Lexi is talking about MedSurg Tele. He says it's very busy labs, procedures, post-op patients, ED patients. Poison Ivy says, "Dang, and here I am working hard to pull straight A's." I think I mean, it's good, but nobody cares what my GPA is when I applied for jobs. And the more you work, your work history is gonna dictate whether or not you get the next job. Gigi Mom worked MedSearch Tele. I learned a lot. I think it's a good stepping stone for ICU. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I like that. NYC Angel, good morning, and thank you for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. Let's see. I read a couple. There's two different articles that I read talking about the nurse practitioner, the nurse practitioner preceptor shortage, right? And this is another reason that I opted not to go back to MP school. For there are many reasons, and this is just one of them. Most of the time, the student is responsible for arranging their own clinical instruction. They have to find a preceptor that is willing to take them on, hopefully for free, but a lot of times there's such a shortage that they have to pay out of pocket. And this article said some students were paying like tens of thousands of dollars to have a preceptor teach them. And that's a lot. And they're delaying their graduation because they have to have their, you know, hourly, their 500 hours or whatever it is of clinical time, precepting time. And they're having to delay graduation because they're having a hard time finding that. And it's just like, I don't need that aggravation. I don't need that stress. Poison Ivy, should I start networking with nurses now? Interested in ED, trauma, ICU, OR, or cath lab? Yeah, it's never too early to start networking. If they have any type of hiring events, you want to go. But again, I recommend reaching out to those unit managers and being like, "Can I shadow a nurse for the day? Can I come take a tour of your unit? I'm interested in working here one day. I'd like to see what it's all about." NYC Angel, I want to continue on the post. I'll continue on for post grad degree, but right now I'm just praying for a C. Micah says it's not like that everywhere. I gotta refresh my what's not like that everywhere. We got a lot of topics going on. Got to give me a reference. What topic are you referring to? Amanda Donnell, thank you for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. Lexi says, talk to your instructor, tell them what you're interested in, see if they can let you shadow. Bro, why did you leave Manchester United? Who do I look like? Who from Man U do I look like? Manager or player? I'm trying to think. I'm probably more like a manager. I cannot believe Man United lost to Hull City 2-0 in the opening game. That is wild to me. It made me feel a lot less sad about Sunderland losing to Ipswich Town. At least it was at Ipswich. At least Jack Clark, who used to play for Sunderland, scored the game winner for Ipswich. I hated to lose him, but he's done really well with Ipswich over the last 2 years. So anyway, no, but who do I look like from Man U? Manager. Oh, I can see his face. I get it, but I can't remember his name. What was his name? I gotta look him up now. I've only been following the Premier League for about 5 years now, so I'm not like, I'm still learning history. I bet you didn't think I was gonna know that, did you? You didn't think I was gonna be a football fan. I will literally watch anything. I will watch every division of the Premier League of, English football. I'll watch League One, which I will now because I'm a Leicester fan as well. I've been following Leicester for a few years, and now they're down in League One. I have my Jamie Vardy shirt from when they got back up into the Premier League. Poison Ivy says, "So my school is about an hour commute, and I'd rather do clinicals in my city. How to find a preceptor?" You have to talk with your school and let them know if they have connections, if you can do your preceptorship there. That makes sense. And I remember there might have been some students who've been able to do that. But yeah, talk with your school, your instructors, and see if they have contacts at a hospital where because they have to have like an agreement with the hospital, I believe. At least my nursing school had to have like contracts or agreements with them. Oh, Micah says finding MP preceptorships. Oh, so it's not like that everywhere. Right, right. No, I get that. I think in the articles were in general, and it depends on the specialty too. Poison Ivy, you are welcome. That is what we're here for. This community of nurses and those who support nurses. Not all of us in here are nurses, but oh, another Gary followed Gary. Love that. I can't imagine doing a 1 hour commute to my school. I mean, I don't even commute that far for work, thankfully. My clinicals this semester are 10 minutes from my house, which I love. That's gonna be great because 'cause they're early. They start early. It's like 11 hours, 6:30 to 5:30, I think. Jen, good morning. Welcome in. How was Jen this morning? Minimum salary as a nurse in the US, it depends on where you work. I mean, you can do a quick web search and find out what the average salary is. Haley says it takes me an hour to get to school and an hour and a half to get home. Oh god. Traffic? Or do you have to sit in your car and cry for a little bit? Caregiver GPS, thanks for the daily heart me. I appreciate that. Oh, Atlanta traffic. Oh gosh, yeah. Good morning. Good morning. So I can take either interstate or highway to work. If I leave in plenty of time, I try to take the highway. It's almost no tractor trailers. The speed it only adds 5 minutes to my drive, and And if there's any type of traffic on the interstate, it actually gets me to work faster. Dana Scully, thanks for the Gare Bears. I appreciate that. Bobby, you need to start weaning us off you, Gary, if you're leaving us for clinicals. Oh, it's only 4. It's not that bad. You'll survive. It's only 4 clinicals, like, the last 2 Wednesdays in October and the first 2 of the 3 in November. I think they're on fall break for one of them because there's a gap. There's a week gap. So I think they're on fall break. Ricky, good morning. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by this morning. I feel like I need to, like, do reruns. This episode aired on such and such a date. Ricky, I'm doing well. I was off yesterday. I was pretty productive. I got the bathrooms clean, a lot of laundry done, dishes done, kitchen cleaned up. Today I'm gonna mop some floors. Got to do some yard work. I've got to go exchange uniforms for rescue. Mama Reynolds, clocking in. Have a great day. You as well. I hope you have a good shift. Thank you for stopping by this morning and taking part of your day to spend with us. Dana Scully says, anything new on the Lindsay case? According to my TikTok feed, no. Because I log into TikTok first thing in the morning. And usually, if there's any breaking news on that, it's going to be one of the first things I see. I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. I did not see anything. And that's how I find out if there's any latest news. I would assume, I don't know. I don't want to assume anything. Let's just look it up. Status of Lindsay Clancy. Look at that. It's the first. I didn't even finish typing and already knew. It's in its final stages of rebuttal testimony with closing arguments expected later this week. Of course, as standard, the defense requested a mistrial. That's just standard. They're going to always try that. And the judge said no. Let's see. Judge William Sullivan denied defense motion for a mistrial after prosecution rebuttal witness Dr. Kirk Helbrun mentioned Catholic teachings and mortal sin during testimony. The judge did, however, strongly reprimand the mention of religion, struck the comments from the record. Jury can't unhear that, and instructed the jury to disregard them. I always find that hilarious. Okay, ignore what you just heard. You didn't hear that. Don't use that. You can't. They're humans. They're going to hear that. They can try, but it's already there. And the prosecution knows that. They know that. Current proceedings. Testimony resumes today with cross-examination of Helbrun, followed by remaining prosecution rebuttal witnesses before closing arguments. So there you go. That's where we stand. And as soon as all that's done, it'll go to the jury and they will have to deliberate. Oh, El Massey, good morning. How are you doing this morning? I was looking up the status of the trial and just popped back over to the comments. Poison Ivy, like, who do I contact at the hospital for a preceptorship? It would probably be like, if you have any personal contacts, like if you know somebody that works there, I would start there. Otherwise, you'd probably have to go to the chief nursing officer, the CNO, and explain your situation. I'm getting ready to do my practicum. I live here, but I go to school here. I would prefer to do it here. Do you have an agreement or a process? But you need to start with the nursing school, because if the nursing school says no, then that's hard stop. But you need to start with your program. And they may be like, well, if you can find somebody, go for it and let us know. If you find somebody that'll take you. Theory Smasher, I got extreme pattern recognition, but I'm so far above and no one will ever understand my mind. That's how I feel sometimes. Nobody will ever understand my mind. Not that they want to, but yeah, like Lexi said, contact your school first. They have to approve everything. If they say yes, great. If they say no, then you don't have to worry about it. You're just gonna have to suck it up and drive. Caregiver GPS says the last witness was super clear. Defense called for a mistrial because witness mentioned religion. Yeah, we just talked about that. And judge said, no, we're not doing a mistrial. However, shame on you for bringing that up. We're doing good. Like, I got a decent amount of sleep. We're productive yesterday. We'll try to be productive again today. That's right. I like the old joke. My mind's like a steel trap, rusty and illegal in 37 states. So today is yard work, um, mopping. I got to mop some floors. Yeah, it'll be a busy day. It'll go by fast. What can the ER do for someone who threw up? If they only threw up once, it depends, like, what other symptoms are going on, and it depends on the ER physician or nurse practitioner or PA. It could be anything from, "Here's some Zofran over the counter," not over the counter, like ODT, like the orally dissolving tablet. It could be IV. It could be like, "Well, what's causing you to throw up? You have a medical history? Do we need to do a CT of your abdomen?" It depends. You gotta take a really good thorough history. It depends on your age, what medications you're on. So there's a lot of factors that go in. I can't answer that question. I I try to be a good husband. Cleaning, yes, I do clean, do yard work. I do the bathroom. But see, my wife does a lot of things, and so it's just a division of tasks, right? She manages all the finances. She's highly organized. She does a lot of other things. So this is just my contribution. We I try to divide things up. She's got a lot going on, and so I don't cook. I do breakfast really good, and I can smoke things on the smoker. I can grill, but yeah, I don't do a lot of cooking. I can, it's just she's so much better at it, and if I try to get in there and help, she's like, "No, I'm good. Just go away." Ames, good morning. Welcome in. Thank you for liking the live. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope you got some sleep last night. Julie says, "Tomorrow I'm officially old. I turn 65." I think 65 is like the new 50, right? Like the 50 is the new 30. So you're not old. If you're staying active and taking care of yourself, I mean, you may feel old, like your joints may hurt, but I know that being 51 for me is not what 51 was for my dad. It's a different 51. Like I feel at 51 had accepted that he was a senior citizen and then fully embraced it. And I'm like, "Hell no, I'm not doing that." What are essential nursing school or clinical supplies you'd recommend? Analog watch and a stethoscope and a notepad, something you can write in. I don't know what this guy's singing about, but I love this song. It's got a good beat to it. It's got a nice voice. It's just so chill. It's very beach vibes, right? Or like, vacation vibes. The Caregiver GPS, thank you for the Go Populars. I appreciate that. Times 10. It's very soothing. He's singing about black coffee. One of these days I'm gonna record myself making my coffee just as rage bait. I'm gonna put so much creamer in there, people will have no choice but to, like, comment. I think it's just that's my next viral video. What kinda notes would usually jot down during clinicals? I would say anything that is new to you, that you learned, right? So, things that I probably take for granted now, medications that you should push slowly. And the other thing I wanna be very clear about for all you nursing students out there, just because you see it done in clinical does not mean that is the right way to do things. I made a post, kind of tongue in cheek, but there's some truth to that. When nursing students get into clinical situations, they have learned typically the safe way to do things, and then they see things that happen in the real world of nursing. It doesn't make that right. It just means that that's how the real world is. Again, it doesn't mean that what they're doing is correct. It just means that that's how they do it. And that's on them and their license. Don't necessarily emulate that. So one of the things that I learned, not the hard way, but I kind of was like, ooh. I probably should have somebody should have taught me this before, is how fast do you push medications? And there are very few medications that you should push fast, very few. Atropine's one, adenosine is another, um, any type of like code epi, those things you should push fast. But outside of that, there aren't very medications that you need to go really fast with. And there are some that you have to absolutely go slow. So pantoprazole is one, or Protonix is one. Lasix is another. Any derivative of that. So like Bumex is another one you got to push slow. It can result in ototoxicity. It can cause hearing loss. So yeah, narcotics. Any narcotic needs to be pushed slow. Reglan slow. Toradol, believe it or not, should be pushed slow. Yeah, so there's so many things in there that you will learn as you go. And but that's why I encourage you to look up all the medications. I still look up meds that I give on a regular basis because I'm like, let me make sure. Just because I've done it one way for a long time doesn't mean it's the right way. Ari, good morning. Ari, I have some bad news for you, I'm afraid. When you take the NCLEX, it's gonna cost you a lot more money. I'm so sorry. You may have already known this. I just learned about it today, but the NCLEX is raising the cost as of February 1st. It's gonna go from 200 to $350. Maybe it's already built into your program. I hope so. But again, it's been 26 years since they've increased the price. It was long overdue. Okay, so you have to pay for it. That's what I had to do. Some people said it's built into their program. Lexi says my school paid for the first NCLEX attempt, but if you had to retake, it was on you. Okay. Oh, they warned you last semester about. Oh, okay. It is a big jump, but again, it's been a quarter century since they've raised the cost, and everything's gotten more expensive. I mean, look, I understand, and so the other thing is that the increase, the 200 to 350, is for Australia and for the United States. Canada has got it worse. Theirs is going from 360 to 570. I know you didn't ask for this. Yeah, it's like a huge financial burden on nursing students just trying to become a nurse. I saw a post, speaking of college students, there was a post by a college student who talked about moving in. They had done a sublease. I think they weren't a new college student. I think they were coming back for a semester. They had done a sublease from somebody, and they showed up to move in, and the person they were subleasing from did not have the air conditioning on all summer, and the house was just nothing. And then like they took video. It was nothing but black mold. The couch had black mold on it. The walls had black mold. I'm just like, oh my! Can you imagine showing up to move in like a week early too, before classes started, and you walk into that, you're like, I can't live here. Like this is terrible. And like, how do you not leave your air conditioning on? Travis got my first long-term care job as a CNA, high acuity care, not a big accomplishment, but we celebrate. Yeah, we do. Heck yeah, we celebrate. Any type of employment, we celebrate. Congratulations, man. Bring your track shoes. You're going to be running. Ames says, guess I'll warn my college students today. Yep, might as well. Prep them. I guess your school doesn't build it into the cost. Like we had to pay out of pocket. Oh, you pay them, Ari says, and they do it for you. So you still got to pay for it. They just arrange it. We have no money. I know. So do I need to chuck up my 3K tuition? It's going to be around 600 total for the NCLEX license pin. Oh. So speaking of like unnecessary things for graduation, two things. Um, one, the honors pin, all honors stuff, that's all a lot of that's like scam. You know, they'll try to get you to join these honor sororities or fraternities and, graduate with honors and whatever. It's like I did that and I'm like, this is all a scam. I mean, I had the grades. I mean, I earned my way in, but like it's still kind of like a scammy little thing. Class rings. I I lost my class ring from my first college experience, and I didn't really miss it. I mean, it was kind of a nice ring, but I didn't wear it because the hand I wear it on is this one, and I broke that ring finger. I can't put rings on there anyway, not unless they're, um, the silicone ones. So I can't wear it on that hand anyway anymore. But I was like, well, nursing school is a big deal. This is going to be my career for the rest of my life, my working life, probably. So I got it, right? I spent a lot of money on it and it sits in a box. So, look, I'm just saying class rings are not what they used to be, I don't think. I still see old timers wearing their class rings. Good for them. It means that much to them. So, I didn't get a ring with my first degree, and I don't plan to with nursing one. Yeah, and I got the nursing pin, right? Like the little pin. I don't. What are you gonna do with that? I don't wear that for anything. I don't dress up. I don't go anywhere that I need a tie or a tie clip or anything like that. I don't do it. I fell for all of that. Poison Ivy. Hi. I'm sorry. Is my question showing? I don't. No, you're not spamming. Don't worry about it. You have a good track record. Let me scroll back. As far as notes is concerned. Oh, hang on. Let me scroll back. I get to run in my mouth poison ivy, and don't always see everything. But I'll let's see. And sometimes other folks will jump in and answer questions. So the last one that I see is as far as notes is concerned during clinicals, but I don't see the one that preceded that. So I don't know if I missed it or not. Nah, I saw one of my coworkers scroll through here briefly. They get sick of me. They see me enough at work. They don't need to tune into my lives. Yeah, it might have gotten filtered, but yeah. Ari says my pinning ceremony is optional, but what kind of notes would usually be jot down during close? Yeah, we talked about that. Or I might have. I started to, but anything that is new to you that like medication wise, oh, I didn't know about that medication. Let me look that up. Let me write that medication down. Those kind of things. Procedures like, oh, I've never even heard of this procedure. I need to look this up so I know how to do it in the future or what to expect. Thank you, Ames. I appreciate you doing that. I don't know. I don't think it was from a strike because I didn't it's Corewell Health System. It's like I didn't realize there's 10,000 nurses in that system. That's a lot of nurses in one state. But yeah, that came from the Detroit Free Press. Here, let me pull it up. I've got it right here. Corwell registered nurses ratify first contract with 15% pay increase. This is from the Detroit Free Press. After more than a year of negotiations, roughly 10,000 registered nurses at Corewell Health East ratified their first contract with the state's largest health system, negotiating a 15% pay raise over the course of a 3-year contract. So that's great. I don't know if they were, I mean, there was definitely some strikes up in Michigan that would make sense, but I don't know the specifics of it. Veggie Inhaler, thanks for sharing out the live. Corey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Did you see the trickle gossip news about Grady? No. Like in Atlanta? Grady Hospital in Atlanta? Corey, good morning. Thanks for stopping by this morning. Appreciate you. If you're new to the lives, my name's Gary. I'm an ER nurse. I was a broadcast journalist for a number of years before I got into nursing, including radio, television, print journalism. We live stream every weekday morning at 6:30 Eastern Time right here on TikTok. We also simulcast on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Yes, allegedly they are cutting pay by $10 an hour. That's not the first story I've heard about that, and that's kinda crazy. Oh, see, I sorry I missed a comment over on Facebook. Messy, Messee. Hello, can you offer any insight or updates regarding the California RN students of Nightingale College situation, please? No, I don't have any updates on that. I don't. I guess still the board of nursing, I think, is still evaluating their program if they meet the requirements. I've not seen any updates. No. If anybody knows of any updates, drop them in the comments here. They're cutting specialty pay. So for like ICU, like critical care pay, Gordon got the elf. Welcome in. Good evening to you, sir. Our nurses in my state got a pay rise over the next few years, which is well received. Oh, that's good. Well, I think, and we talked about this earlier about pay cuts and not hiring, being understaffed. Some of that is corporate greed. Some of that is the Medicaid cuts that are slowly being implemented over the years, over a 10-year period. This is year one, I think, or year two. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fix is. I don't know if there is a fix for this. I'd say that eventually nurses are gonna leave, and they will, but I think there are enough in the pipeline that are gonna fill those gaps, and that's gonna be their new normal, and I think that's what they're counting on. They're counting on, you know, getting rid of the nurses that make more money, that have been around a while, pushing them out, and then just underpaying the newer nurses. And I talked about this earlier, and a little bit is because 20 years ago, a buddy of mine who, was like a second career nurse, he his first job 20 years ago offered him like 23 an hour as a new nurse grad. And he was my age. At that time, he was my age, the same age I was when I became a nurse. That same hospital, 10 years after he started, offered me $20 an hour, $3 less an hour than he got 10 years prior. Make that make sense. Ari, I think there's going to be a lot fewer bedside nurses. The shortage is going to get worse and worse, I believe. Concierge nursing is going to take off. So I'm not really familiar with what concierge nursing is. I have an idea, but I don't know how that would be enough positions to accommodate so many nurses. I saw your note. I saw your question about note taking. I feel like we answered it. Was there another one? They struggled with the strikes for 12 months, and I think it was about a 15% pay rise in total. Oh, that's good. Oh, private nurse. Oh, you mean like going to people's homes? Okay, I gotcha. That's unfortunate too, because that's only for people that can afford it, and not many people are gonna be able to afford that. And there's certainly not enough of those positions to fill the job requirement, like the people that need jobs. There's not enough of those jobs. Haley says I'm interviewing for an ED externship next week, so hopefully it'll help me get experience. Oh yeah, externship's gonna be huge and help build that resume up. Frankie's, or Frank, I don't know, Frankie's 100% Medicaid cuts. Kaiser used to hire 20 plus new grads. Now they hiring 2 nurses every cohort. That's not enough. That's not a lot. I think it'll be a fight of who can get them fastest. I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm hoping I can just make it another 14 years at my current job and just put in my time and then step away. And maybe just like if I still want to work, if I feel like I need to work, then I'll maybe teach, like just do, I don't know, something or PRN. Have a more specific question. All right. Yeah, sometimes it's the wording. Let me scroll back and see if I can see a flagged one. Oh gosh, that's a lot of. No, I don't see anything blurred out or like, yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, so just ask away. But yeah, you can DM me too if you'd like. I'll do my best. The other half may go back to school for higher ed. Yeah, I've been debating because I get free credits as a clinical instructor. So I mean, I could start taking classes to work toward a master's. I don't know what I would do with it. My hospital is expanding and under construction, adding 30 beds, ED 15 beds. Oh my gosh. And yeah, how are you going to staff it? Gordon got the alpha. I know our paramedics are the lowest paid in Australia, and there are 10 to 14-hour shifts. Yeah, paramedics, the pay is getting better here in the US, but it's still pretty low. Now there are some that get paid pretty well, but I think generally speaking, Bobby says, "Which Alani should I try today?" Have you done Cosmic Stardust? That one's good. The orange one is good. Of course, Witch's Brew, you've already tried that one. And the Ruby Red, Ruby Red or Ruby Apple, I can't remember which one it's called. That one's probably my favorite. I like that one better than Witch's Brew, honestly. Then Ruby, yeah, do the Ruby Red one. Ours come the way they sell them here where I live, it's 6 of the Ruby Red and then 6 of the Witch's Brew. I can't just buy Witch's Brew. The orange, I like. No, the Ruby is, I wouldn't say it's like grapefruit. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, so Lexi, the school I went to when I was there, to be a clinical instructor, you had to have a master's degree. If you wanted to be a clinical like not a clinical instructor, a classroom instructor, like a professor, you had to have a PhD. So yeah, a PhD or a DMP, you had to have one of those. But now they've relaxed that to be a clinical instructor, you just have to have your bachelor's and clinical experience. Med skill builder, welcome in. Good morning. Okay, so poison ivy. Should INO, diagnostic, vital trends, clear liquids, full liquids, et cetera, be noted during clinicals? It depends on what they are requiring of you for that particular clinical. So I would say, I mean, that really depends on your program. Like in terms of charting them or understanding them, because it depends on your clinical. Because my students don't chart; they're not there yet. That comes later in the program. This is what I teach them is literally just getting bedside experience, ambulating, doing bed changes, Foley's, learning IVs if the opportunity presents itself, which on a med surg unit is not very often. I think we only had like 2 or 3 for the whole semester last semester. So, Kearns Global, thank you for the Gare Bears. I appreciate that. Another nurse in the house. REK, my program made us chart from first clinical. I wish we were allowed to chart. I would love to teach them, but we don't have access to the computer system. Maybe this semester will be different. I don't know. Oh, Lexi's in Dallas. Yeah, level 1 traumas, it's a vibe. It's a lot. Oh, let's see, Melissa, I think did yours get, yeah, let me approve that. Oh, here we go. Now I can see them. Oh, Amanda Donnell had a comment that was flagged. A lot of weird stuff getting flagged. Holly says, "You can come help me with my house if you're bored." I'm not bored. I got plenty of stuff to do. There we go. Somebody asked a very inappropriate question. I'm glad that got flagged. We will not be approving that comment. Lexi says we were not allowed to chart. My students aren't allowed either at that point in their nursing school journey. It comes later. I remember having a chart, like I had to go in and type a note on a patient, and then your clinical instructor would have to review it before the end of the clinical that day, and I typed I remember I'm a journalist, like, I used to write. I mean, I've done on air, but I've also done print, and it clinical instructor took one look at it and was like, no. Like, we don't need a novel. You need to shorten this. This is way I was like, "It's very thorough," and it's like, "No, no, no. We don't need that thorough. That's too much." Head to toe assessments are good, especially as a nursing student. You'll need to learn those. You'll have to do a full head to toe assessment as part of your education. Like, you'll have to be tested out on that. They usually have the nurse practitioners volunteer, at least where I went to school. Nurse practitioners volunteer to be the patient. You go in and do your full head to toe assessment. You have to make sure you can only miss like 2 or 3 things. But head to toe assessments are gonna be very important, especially if you work ICU. ICU is gonna be head to toe. I don't know if med surg does head to toe or not. They may do head to toe. ER does not. In the ER, we do not do head to toe assessments. We do focused assessments. So if you're complaining of abdominal pain, we're gonna focus on your abdomen. Now, if during our conversation, like you mentioned, the patient mentions other things like, "Oh, my chest is hurting," or "My shoulder hurts," then we kind of move to that and we focus on that too. But we don't do a full head to toe neuro assessment. What unit do you usually, if you do? I don't recommend new grads go to any specific unit. You'll see people say med surge should be where you start, and you'll see others like myself that I advocate that you should go to the unit that you feel comfortable working on, that you want to work on. If you're drawn to critical care, you're drawn to trauma, go to the ER. If you like complex things, if you're very detail oriented and you like challenges, go to the ICU. ER is also similar to that. ER is kind of for like ADHD people who love chaos and thrive in that chaotic environment. ICU is for very type A personalities who like things neatly organized, because you have to. Your lines need to be labeled. You need to have everything nice and neat. And everything needs to be precise. So ICU tends to attract those kind of people. Getting into the cath lab, typically they're going to want you to have some ICU or ER experience because you're taking, because those patients can and do code on the table. And so you got to have ACLS. They prefer to have some critical care experience. At least where I work, you got to have some critical care experience. How much I don't know. And that may not be universal. Other hospitals may not. They may take new grads and just train them up. Poison ivy, I like a healthy amount of chaos in my life. That's why ED or trauma ICU is my favorite. There you go. So you already kind of answered your own question, but you don't necessarily have to start anywhere in particular. You just go where you're going to feel comfortable. That's what I advocate for. I've thought about going to cath lab, but our cath lab is pretty sporadic with its coverage. So Lexi says, focus all day. Yeah, my I had to the one of the biggest adjustments I had to make going from the ICU to the ER was the focused assessments. It was so ingrained in me. I did my practicum in the ICU. I thought I wanted to be an ICU nurse forever, and I had to get out of that habit. The nurse that was orienting me to the ER, I was had experience as a nurse. She was like, "Bro, like, you gotta knock off these head to toe assessments. You're not in the ICU. They're here for shoulder pain, focus on the shoulder. We don't need you don't need to check their see if they're having chest pain. If they have chest pain, they should have led with that." Now, if they're saying left arm pain, then you ask, "Are you having chest pain? Any jaw pain?" But if they're like, "My right shoulder hurts because I was working in the garden for 10 hours yesterday and, shoveling or drawing, pulling weeds or whatever," yeah, it's a focus assessment. You just focus on that. Ames, thanks for the roses. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Bobby's like, "I got the orange. Let's go." All right. I want to review. It's one of my favorite ones. I would say right now, my top three are the ruby apple or ruby red. I can't remember which one it's called. Let me look it up. Then the witch's brew, and then the orange. I like cosmic stardust too, but that's like a four. But they're all very close together. Just depends on my mood. Alani Ruby Apple. It's Ruby Apple. Oh, so good. It's very carbonated. I can belch the alphabet. Not really. I can't. I'm not that talented. Caregiver GPS. I'm a monster person. Well, if you would like a can holder, I can 3D print you one for a nominal fee, as I have done for others. Just sent out 4 boxes yesterday. Couple of, podcast, stickers in there, a personal note. I handwrite a note to everybody who orders one. How to impress your preceptors during clinical. Keep your phone out of like, out of sight. Be proactive. And I would go right up to your preceptor and say, "I'm really excited about this opportunity. I will do everything that you will let me do. Every procedure, I wanna learn all of it." Yes, right, be engaged, ask questions. I thought you were talking about coffee. No, not talking about coffee, we're talking about energy drinks, but in one of my posts, somebody said they put sweetened cream in their witch's brew, and I don't know that, I can't do that. That's weird. But I say that, but I say that from a place of love because I like peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches. It's a Southern thing, and I'm not even from the South, and I know it sounds gross. Would it be like a cream soda maybe? I don't know. Dana Scully's like, "Wait, what? Peanut butter and mayonnaise? So good. So good. I don't know what it is about it." Haley likes vanilla cream in my peach Alani's in my peach Red Bulls. Oh, I don't do Red Bulls. Yep, NCLEX fees went up that much. Well, as of February 1st, not yet. So if you're taking them this semester, like in December, January, you're good. You still get the old price. If you register to take it after February 1st of 2027, it's the new fees. I don't think I could do the mayo. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It sounds gross, but it tastes good. I can't explain it. I like my french fries, I don't like ketchup on my fries. I can tolerate it, it's fine, it doesn't bother me. I'd rather dip my fries in mayonnaise. I was told that I got that from being in Germany, like, that's a German thing, is what I was told. That's where my love for it, because I spent the first 6 years of my life in Germany, West Germany, it was West Germany at the time, because 'cause I'm old. I've seen people take ketchup and mayo and, like, stir it up into, like, a sauce. It's fine, I've done that too, it's okay, but I'd rather have mayonnaise. No, Haley says ketchup and mayo combined is the superior fry dip. Nah, it's not bad. Poison Ivy says, "I'm so happy I came across this live. Y'all are amazing." Thank you very much. We do this every morning, 6:30, most weekday mornings, unless there's some like family vacation. The group in here, the regulars, Ames, Bobby, El Massey, like they don't approve PTO. I just have to like do AWOL. They don't like when I leave. They rip me to shreds in the group chat. That's all in good fun. They're good people though. A lot of really smart people in this live. A lot of good perspectives. So yeah, if you ever have questions, want to share your experiences, this is a great place to do it. Judgment free. Unless Gary tries to take PTO. That's right. That's pretty much all my PTO is unapproved. Look, like I've said, PTO is not pay time off. It's prepare the others. Prepare the others for my absence. I will not be there. Like the thing with like vacations where I work, like you have to like schedule your vacations like a year in advance. Who does that? Now, like come October, November, we'll have to put our leave schedule in for the next calendar year. What? I don't know when I'm gonna go on vacation. What if like something pops up and I want to go? Now, our manager's been really good. Our new manager has been really flexible, so that's really helpful. And the other tour has been really good about switching shifts, so I'm not worried about it. Now, like in the years past, it was always like a lot of anxiety, but our new manager is really good about that, and he will work with you. And so I appreciate that. So I don't feel like, if I wanna book another vacation and I have to do it for a certain time period, I can go ahead and book it. I'm just gonna go ahead and book it, prepare the others, I'm not gonna be here. We'll figure something out, but I'm not gonna be here because I have to book those way in advance. Oh, is Jen still here? Ari says, yeah, we consider it abandonment. Gonna file a complaint against me with the board of nursing. Yeah, this guy keeps going on vacations for his live streams. Can you do something about this? Well, Haley, I appreciate you stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I love doing this. It reminds me of my radio days, but I have more interaction with the listeners than I did when I worked in radio. I usually only talk to people off the air and then recorded those to play later. And I definitely couldn't talk to this many people. Lexi, it sounds like they don't understand your needs, and that's unfortunate. Need to fill in for that's what I told you guys to do. You should take turns. Each of you take one day. Y'all do one live. Haley says, this may be weird, but are you the one who gave me advice on the taking the ATI exam? I don't know. Alan, hello, welcome in. We're getting ready to log off. I've got to get kids off to school. I've got lots of chores to do today. Emmy, good morning. You caught us as we're getting ready to log off. I appreciate you stopping by and say hi real quick. Oh, good. It was Ari. See, we got a good group of people in here. I want that. I would love to see you guys go live. Oh, Alan's feeding the 1-week-old baby. Oh, they're so little. I don't want to do it again. They're cute. Don't get me wrong. My kids were all insanely cute. I love them dearly, but I don't want to do that again. I don't want to start over. I'm too old for that. You would need me to sign in. I have no platform. Welcome to the live stream. I'm not Gary, but today I am. I'll follow anyone else who's going to go live. Ames used to go live with her painting. She hasn't done that in a while. Too busy. Where are we at? Oh, we got over 10,000. I didn't have to beg or ask or anything. Y'all did a great job, and I didn't do any of that. I didn't hold down the L button at all today. That is totally organic. I love that for us. Thank you, guys. Ari says, good luck to me being at school 8 to 5. That's right. Today's Tuesday, lecture all day. So let's send positive vibes to Ari. She's going to be in lecture all day today. You guys did it. Got me over 10,000. I appreciate y'all so much. And as much as I love Bryan Adams, it is time for me to sign off, and I got to go get some stuff done today, including getting kids off to school. So, never fear. We'll do it again tomorrow morning, 6:30 right here on TikTok. We'll also simulcast on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. Until then, be kind to others, be kind to yourself, prioritize your mental health. I'm Gary, the ER nurse. Thank you all so much for taking part of your day to spend with me. You have a wonderful Tuesday. Be safe. Be kind to others. Be kind to yourself. Prioritize your mental health. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6:30, right here on TikTok Live.